Welcome to Mother-Daughter Projects. I'm Steph.
I'm Vicki, and today we're at my house where I'm going to show you how we reupholstered my mid-century modern chairs.
So Mom, can you tell us a little bit more about these chairs, where you got them, why you got them?
Well, I love mid-century modern, and a lot of my furniture is mid-century modern, and I actually had a farmhouse table, which people like that style, it wasn't for me. So I have been looking for a mid-century modern table and chairs, and I found it on Craigslist. And all it said was mid-century modern table and chairs. No picture. So I emailed the seller and said, do you have a picture? So he sent me a picture, and I remember distinctly. I was sitting in the parking lot of the Home Depot, got that picture.
The Home Depot.
Yes, got that picture, and I was on the phone to that man. I said, I'm coming to look at those tables and chairs.
I went with her. It was about 45 minutes from her house, so it was a pretty long journey, but she got them home and they look great. The original fabric actually looks really good on the chairs, but it smelled. Yes. It had a smell to it. And the green was nice and mid-century, but not great for mom's house. So she went to a local fabric store here in Tallahassee and she found a really nice upholstery fabric that she liked and kind of went from there.
Well, let me show you. This is actually the original. This is one of the backs of the fabric. And this is actually a set from Denmark. And it actually came with the original showroom brochure. So my chair is right. Looks like this one right here. Right here.
So Mom, can you explain, you have about 8 of the chairs,
There's 8
right?
chairs.
Yeah. So explain the anatomy of one chair so when people are kind of seeing the process, they have an idea what we're doing.
Okay, well there are 3 parts to the chair. One is the frame, the wood frame. The seats got some batting and foam. And then the back is actually made up of several moving parts. It got a piece of foam, a second piece of foam, a stitched detail on the front. It actually has a piece that goes on the back. So this is the modern version of this.
So come join us as we're going to show you how we put together these chairs.
I started by removing the screws holding the backs and the seats. The screws were placed into marked bags for safekeeping. I used a staple remover to loosen and remove the old staples. I used a rocking motion. Pliers were used to fully remove the staples. Once the fabric was loose, I gently removed the old, crumbly, smelly 50-year-old foam into a trash can. I used a wire brush to remove any lingering foam. A seam ripper was used to detach the back from the top of the chair. The front of the chairs have a sewn feature which was stripped away and those staples removed also. The wood frames were cleaned with mineral spirits to remove the old grime and prepare them for fresh oil. The seats and back were also cleaned to remove any lingering odors. A coat of Danish oil was wiped on, then wiped off to refresh the finish. Old glue was chipped away and minor repairs were made to the chairs. Once all the dirty work was finished, we took the chairs back to my house. Using the seat, I marked the foam for cutting. I used the seam guide to measure the cutting line and used this piece of foam to mark all the additional pieces. I labeled the top of the foam with a permanent marker. I made a pattern for the back for the foam and cut those out. Those are pattern weights helping to hold the pattern in place. The seats needed a little extra padding, so I used 3 layers of sheet batting. The layers were glued with glue designed for foam. I then trimmed the batting to size. The foam was attached to the batting. A layer of glue brought to tack provided a strong hold. We put the batteries in the compressor, attached the hose and the gun, and the machine was turned on. I then pulled and stapled the upholstery into place. Once finished, the backside was trimmed. For the backs, I marked the centers of the foam and laid my pattern on top. The center portion was marked and cut out. The centers were spray glued into place. The center of the back upholstery pieces were marked and laid on top of the cutting board, making sure the centers lined up. The pattern was laid on top and marked with a marker with disappearing ink. A piece of muslin was pinned into place on the back side. The 2 layers were then stitched together using a long length stitch and upholstery thread. The top thread was pulled to the back and tied off. To attach the top, the muslin piece was stapled into place near the stitching. This is what it looked like. I continued stapling all the way around. I put the foam into place, pulled and stapled the upholstery fabric into place. Everything was trimmed up. The back piece was turned under and pressed into place. The wood block helps to lock in the crease. The back was glued into place with fabric glue. Straight pins hold it in place while it dries. We finished by screwing the seat and the back into place.
What we learned. Well, I didn't learn too much because this was really Mom's project. She is really great with all this kind of stuff, and I helped where needed, but I pretty much focused on the video. So, Mom, what'd you learn?
I learned so much. You'll notice in the video we used a compressor with an upholstery gun, and that is the only way I was able to do this project. I've used electric staplers and even manual staplers, and I just don't have the hand strength in order to get those staples in all the way. The compressor takes all the effort out of being able to use a staple gun.
Mom was able to do this all by herself. She wouldn't let me even use the staple gun because
I don't think you got to use it.
I never did because she was having too much fun using it because it's just really easy to do. You might not have all of these skills or may not be able to sew the little inlays and things like that, but those aren't necessarily necessary to do this. If you don't have a sewing machine, you could leave that out. She just really wanted to kind of challenge herself to getting it just like it was in the original. So try that out, take some of these ideas and use them with the products that you have. So if you like this project and want to see more from us, make sure to visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com. So if you want to see more projects from us, make sure to visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com, where we now have ads. Yay!
And they're not that bad.
They're not that bad. You
Not
can
that
report
bad.
them if you don't like them.
Yes.
We like them. I think they're snazzy.
okay.
I like them.
Snazzy, what kind of word is that?
Snazzy. Square. You're square. You're so square.
You didn't say